What's up, guys? It's boy Justin here with our first review for Christmas month 2023, which we're doing a week before Christmas, which every day from Monday to Sunday and Christmas Day, we're gonna have Christmas themed videos, which the last couple videos are gonna be like haul videos and a special impressions review. So yeah, today we're reviewing DC Universe Holiday Special from '09. This is a one-shot from February. Like, oh my god, they were a couple months late. Hey, oh my god, which I paid. This was like $6 US. I paid $6.50, and for how many pages this comes with, I would say it's worth it. Which it comes with 16 stories, man. 16 stories, which you have Batman story, a Superman story, a Flash story, a Doom Patrol story, a Superboy story, Martian Manhunter, Angel and the Ape, Sergeant Rock, Enemy Ace, Biwana Beast, Captain Marvel, back when he was called Captain Marvel. This is the DC Captain Marvel. Deadman, Red Tornado, Huntress, Ragman, and Adam Strange, which will... Yeah, so the first one is Silent Night by Jay Farber and Peter Nugent. Nuke mentioned in the haul video where I revealed this comic that Silent Night was good. I don't know if he was talking about this or there's a new Silent Night comic. I wouldn't be surprised. DC and Marvel like to reuse titles. So yeah, this is completely silent story where Batman, and this reminded me of the classic Christmas movie, which I always hated as a kid, Jingle All the Way, where the Arnold Schwarzenegger sees like criminals dressed up as Santa Claus, and Batman crashes in on them. Oh, there's Darksiders, add to, and beats them up. Only for them to be like, hey, let's not fight. Let's have milk and cookies. The next one is Superman and Man of Snow by Ari Kaplan and Nick Rung. And this one is about basically Superman gets attacked by this golem, snow golem. And it turns out he was created by this kid who's sick. And it turns out... he's Jewish, and it's first day of Hanukkah. So he asks Superman, hey, can you do me a favor? And Superman feels sorry for the kid because he's sick, and they say he has cystic fibrosis. I have no idea what that is, but apparently it's very serious. So yeah, the Superman decides, as long as you don't make more creatures, I'll do you a favor and fly you around. So yeah, here we have The Flash and The Flash Before Christmas by Amy Wolfram and Daniel Lester, and this remind me of a lot of another Flash comic book, holiday comic book that I don't know if it was in DC Universe Christmas or DC Nightmares. Probably DC Universe Christmas we reviewed last year, where they had a holiday special where Wally was out looking for a gift for Iris, and this is basically like the same story, but instead of being stuck in a mall with a shooter, he's running errands all day. He's running errands all day and running into people. And you have the Teen Titans. It turns out he gets his wife lingerie, but was supposed to get Raven a spell book or a gift for Secret Santa or whatever. And so there's a mix up where Raven gets the lingerie and his wife gets the spell book. So he switches out and he's like, I thought we weren't doing presents. It's not for you. Oh ho ho. Merry Christmas. Yeah. Here we have the Doom Patrol comic story, The Beast Boy Who Hated Christmas. It's by Sterling Gates and John Boy Myers. Don't know who John Boy Myers is. He sounds familiar. Is he in Comicsgate? I don't know. And I like this one. This is about basically the Beast Boy. Beast Boy hates Christmas because he's an orphan. He gets treated like crap. So Rita decides to, who's married to like Mentalo, which, man, like, I felt, if you read like, if you read like Silver Age comics, Silver Age Doom Patrol, you know how like both Robot Man and Negative Man had a thing for Rita, but because they're like, you know, they consider themselves freaks. They, when Mentalo showed up, they're like, okay, we're gonna, you know, put our feelings aside, let Rita, like, you know, well, not let, obviously Rita gets the final say in who she dates, but we're gonna, you know, let Rita, basically let Mentalo, like, you know, date Rita. So that man, that reminded me of that, how like, oh, that did eventually happen, I guess. So yeah, what happens is that like Rita and Mentalo decides to adopt Beast Boy, which I don't know if this is canon. So the next story is Superboy and Party Gift, which I love the art here. It's written by Ralph Soule and pencils by Ronnie Buscemi, which, spoiler alert, Superboy is not in this comic book, by the way. So it's like basically the villains are having a Christmas party, and they're like, wait a second, who invited us? Because they thought it was Penguin. Turns out it's not Penguin. Who's this speedster guy? I have no idea who he is. And they're like, who the hell invited us? This is probably a trap by the superheroes. And it turns out it was a bizarro version of Superboy, which I don't know. When I first saw this costume back in the day, I'm like, okay, it looks okay. Now I kind of hate it, but whatever. Yeah. So now we have this story by Fred Van Yent and by art by Nick Ducato, which this also has good art. I like this story. This was a Martian Manhunter story where he's basically solving a petty crime. Not a petty crime. A guy got killed, and you know he feels alienated because the police officers kind of know that something's up with him. But yeah, he solves the crime and like decides to spend Christmas Eve at the policeman Christmas party, which is at a bar, and he brought eggnog. So I did think this was like a little, like, how he stops the criminal is by crashing into him, letting the criminal crash into him. I'm like, that seems a bit overkill considering the guy kills a guy for a cash box, for like, for what's basically petty cash. So I thought that was a little weird, but that's a little bit overkill. But that's superhero comics in general. So we got a one-page superhero story. One-page Christmas story with Angel and the Ape by Andrew Peepoy, however you pronounce that, and who did the story and art. And yeah, this is about basically Angel and Ape are asking for donations for the kids, and yeah, the ape threatens the dude. So it's kind of, the art is very Archie comics here. So yeah, we have Sergeant Rock's story here, where it's Christmas Eve, and Sergeant Rock and a German soldier meet under a bridge. They're about to fight, but because it's Christmas and they're both carrying booze, they decide, hey, we're just gonna chill. We're gonna have a little Christmas truce here. So this is Sergeant Rock, a Piece on Earth by Billy Tucci. And I like this story, man. It was, heartfelt. It's not like, hey, let's like put our differences aside and just chill and appreciate the holiday. So next is Enemy Ace and Still Not by Sheamus, Kevin Feige, and Sean Feige, with art by Howard Clayton, who did he's famous for the Shadow comics. He's like according to Razor Fist, he's like the Frank Miller of Shadow comics, right? Why they drew what's his name here, like he has a unibrow, which I don't know what the deal was that, but yeah, it's basically Enemy Ace is not happy that they're gonna fly a mission on Christmas Day to attack the enemy, and it turns out nobody shoots a single bullet, and they just salute each other and chill. Next is The Buona Beast and the Hunt for Christmas by Bo Smith and Gary Capuis. Or Buona Beast, I guess, is like very much like this felt like his dialogue here is very much reminding me of The Shadow. So I don't know if that was intentional, especially since you had like Howard Clayton write the story before this, who's written a lot of Shadow comics. But yeah, this was a pretty cool story. It's basically, he stops hijackers from stealing like, Christian mission, like, supplies for like, I'm assuming orphans or war refugees. I don't know. That was a cool one. We have another one-page story, Captain Marvel and Home for Christmas by Steve Horton and Ethel Richardson, which it turns out they're both orphans. So it's like they're both homeless. So what do you mean Home for Christmas? Where he's fighting this supervillain named Ibeck, and they destroy like homeless shelter or whatever, and they decide to spend Christmas rebuilding it, and Billy is there and he sees like a old guy there, and he's like, hey, is that Ibeck? And here we have a depressing story. This is Dead Man by Scott Collins, Unbearable Loss. And yeah, this is a story about like basically Scarecrow's mom, who I guess was a teenage runaway or something. I don't know, or she got pregnant when she was a teenager. Finds out that is depressed, wants to kill herself because of the crimes that her son committed. And there's also this homeless kid named William at the beginning of the story. And she tries to kill herself only to get saved by Dead Man. And Dead Man saves her life, and she decides to invite this homeless kid for lunch or dinner. Which she says lunch, but it's nighttime. Wouldn't it be dinner? Yeah. So next we have The Red Tornado and A Night Before Christmas story. That's what it says. By David Titchman and penciled by Adam Arthur. I guess here it's like we find out Red Tornado has a wife and kid, and he tries to go on Christmas Eve. He tries to buy like a toy for his daughter, and because everybody's acting like jerks, he decides to snow them all in. And they're only there for an hour, and he thinks, oh, maybe if they're snowed all in, like people will like be more appreciative and like learn the spirit of Christmas. This is a robot, by the way, saying this. And you have a guy say it's like, maybe it's a sign. Maybe the snow and all of us being trapped in here is supposed to make us think about the meaning of Christmas. We're all being run around like crazy people trying to buy stuff. That's not what the holidays are about. By the way, I forgot to mention the last page is like he's trying to buy a toy, and this old lady's like they're sold out, and this old lady's like, I'll sell it to you for $200. And this guy's like, I'll buy it for $250. He's like, what the fuck? Oh my god, I swore when I promised the last video I'm not going to swear anymore. Oh my god, swear anymore. But whatever. It turns out, the kid doesn't even want to open her Christmas gift. So yeah, that's cool. Next, we have the second last story, which is Huntress and Naughty Nice. Which does it say who it's by? Did they forget to write that here? Maybe they do it at the end. Which this one is about basically this kid tries to shoplift at this candy store, and the kid gets caught red-handed, and Huntress is very judgmental of the cashier for like, yeah, because she's like, maybe the kid's like hungry or whatever, is starving, and it's like, would you, if you're hungry and you're starving, would you like rob? Would you like steal from a candy shop? That to me seems a little like, yeah, if you're starving and hungry, like maybe a bakery or something, like not from like a candy shop, but whatever. The place gets robbed, and the kid trips the criminal up, and like Huntress catches him, and the shopkeeper's like, yeah, I'm gonna give like the kid a toy that's hanging and like some free candy. So now we have, this is sorry, that was the third last one. This is the second last one. This is Ragman is fighting criminals, and he's being told by this rabbi, like a story about Judah, and basically like this, like a Jewish historical story about like how the Judah and his compatriots defeated the Syrians who invaded them or whatever. This is Ragman is Seen the Light by Bob Levin, Brian Ching. The art's really good. And the last one is Adam Strange and Auld Lang Syne written by Shannon Eric Danton and Nick J. Nepotiano. And Dan Green, not the comic book, not the voice actor Dan Green, from such roles as Stepmother Sin and oh, I don't know the other hentais. Oh my god, I can't believe that guy was voice. Oh my god, sorry, that was the old Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged joke where like the Dan Green shows up in Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged like Christmas special, whatever. And like they're not the real Dan Green, like little Karibo voice pretending to be Dan Green. And he's like, I was in such roles as like this guy from the Stepmother Said, and this other guy from like I don't even remember his other hentai, but like oh my god! But yeah, this one is basically he's trying to get home for New Year's, and he keeps getting like tied up in solving crime, and that's it. So what do I think about this? Obviously, some of the stories were mixed bags, but overall the art was consistently good, I would say. And I enjoyed it. It was a fun read. Though there was like one or two depressing stories, but overall it was good and I enjoyed it. So, I don't know, 6 out of 10. What can you expect from a holiday special? But yeah. So that's it for this review, guys. Our next review is going to be Alpha Flight, issue 105.